Welcome to the Aeolian Mode in the Discover the Musical Modes on the Native American style flute. And I'm Amy, and I'm going to be leading you through this mode. In this mode, we're going to be taking a look at a number of different ways to learn how to play the mode, and we're going to be listening to some different tracks so you can get the mood of the mode. And let's start off with that. I've got a track ready for you. This is on my SoundCloud, and this is, you're going to hear the Aeolian Mode, a natural minor scale, and then you'll hear a second flute come in, which is a drone. In fact, this is the flute that I recorded what you're going to hear. So you'll hear the single flute play, and then you will hear the drone, and so it's kind of just neat to hear those differences. Okay, I'll play like a minute of it, just so you can really get the flavor of it. Here we go. I'll stop it there so you can hear it, and that is the natural minor, the Aeolian Mode. And I love that. I think any Native American style flute player loves that. That's why we're drawn to our flutes. It's got that mysterious, almost haunting quality, and the flutes that we play are built on the simplified version, or the pentatonic, of the full Aeolian Mode that we're going to learn. So now's the time to get your F sharp flute, and we're going to be going through this process in a number of different ways so you can learn the full mode. And learning, of course, is the best done when we're doing it. So we are going to go through this and notice the flute diagrams and notice the numbers as we play through this. Okay, great. And I'm going to share the screen now, and we're going to talk about this beautiful mode. Okay. What you just heard played was the Aeolian Mode, the natural minor scale, and it was played in this position 1, where we started from the bottom hole. This is a little bit about the mode itself. It is made up of specific whole steps and half steps. And you don't have to know any of this to play it. But here it is, just so you know. You'll see it here. So depending, it doesn't matter what pitch you start on, as long as you start whatever root note you start on, and you play the sequence. Whole step, half step, that first minor, third, ooh, whole step to 4, whole step to 5, half step to the minor 6th, flatted 6, whole step to the flatted 7, and the octave. Okay, and this can be played, and we're going to go through the second and the third position playing, but we're going to focus on this first one, but it can be played starting on the second hole up, this sequence, and indeed the third one up, and we'll talk about the blue boxes in a little bit. So we can let go of pitch, all right? But if you wanted to play it on a keyboard and stay on the white keys, you would play from A to A, and that will give you the correct half steps and whole steps. And we talked in the last module and video about interval function, and really encourage that perspective because it unlocks musical fluency and storytelling abilities with your music. So how does that sound to you, that Aeolian haunting? It's just immediately apparent what's happening with this particular mode. This is considered a parent mode. In other words, there's Aeolian, and then there are two modes. There are two other modes, which are Dorian and Phrygian, and the bonus mode, which we're going to do later, Phrygian dominant, which is different. But Dorian and Phrygian are also considered from the Aeolian mode. It's the parent mode. And then I'd like to compare it just visually. So here we were in the major scale, the Ionian mode, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And if we played C to C on a keyboard, it would line up like this. So when we take a look at Ionian and then we compare it to Aeolian, we can see three differences. This one here, the flatted third, so we take this and we move it down, and then the two up here, the flatted 6th and the flatted 7. So 3 of the intervals are lowered 1/2 step. So what we're going to take a look at first is this first position, and this is typically what we learn first when we get a flute. Okay, so this diamond method that we walked through before is what we're going to use as our reference point to learn the scale in terms of being able to play it with other instruments immediately. So we played the scale 1 to 8, 1 to 8, 1 to 8, okay? But here's a different way to approach learning it. And so what we see here is we're going to play just the home note, the 1, and then the 1-5 and on up. And I have a track that I'm going to play, and I encourage you to play along with this, and I'll move the page so you can see how it is, and you'll get in the hang of it very quickly. So how's that size? Is everybody seeing that pretty well? Okay, great. So just bear with me for one moment, and I will pull up that sound file, and then we'll be able to do that together. Okay, here we go. So you won't see it because I'm just going to play it, but this visual will be up for you, and if you're on an F-sharp flute, then you will be all set. Okay, we're playing the 1 right now. Go ahead and play your 1. And play that over and over again. You get a sense of the root note. Here we go. I'm going to add the 5. Beautiful harmony, the 1-5. You do whatever you want there, kind of go back and forth, get that sense. Where are you? Now, you can add the 3. Okay, the minor 3rd. Beautiful. Again, this is the primary chord. This particular mode. Okay, now we're going to add the 8 on this next round. Octave 8. Again. Okay, get ready. We're going to add 2 more intervals, the 4 and the 7, to make it the pentatonic. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to stop it for just a moment. So notice that this is what our flutes are built on. So that's the Aeolian, which we're going to play the full pretty soon. But we've taken out 2 intervals, which we're going to get down here, and that gives us the pentatonic. And you see the asterisks above each of these because that's the full pentatonic interval sequence. Before I go on, I'm going to say one other thing. On these recordings that we're doing, and you can hear the sound sample, I don't include the octave above notes. We'll talk about those, but we're really just going for that octave in the recordings. Okay, get ready. Here we go again. We've got 2 more rounds of the Aeolian pentatonic. Now the full mode. I'm going to stop it for 1 minute. Just a little commentary so we can kind of get some context with this. So this is the half hole. I avoid it. I know how to play it. I still avoid it because it's not necessarily a great quality note. So this is one of the considerations we use when we say which position do I want to play a song in, okay? But that's what that note is, and that's why it's it's not used on the flute that much, but you certainly can use it. It's there, we have it. And then we get over here to this 6, and that is cross fingering. You can see you have to kind of swap out some fingers to get to it, all right? So that's something to consider if we're looking at different positions, different songs. Easy to learn to do, but that's what that cross fingering is all about. So we're going to go 2 more rounds. Get ready, get set. Here we go. Okay, we made it. All right, and then just to point out, so if we consider that 1 octave, that's 1 octave. The next octave would start again. In some charts, you'll see this maybe as 9 and 10. I chose to make them 2 and 3 because you can imagine 8 being like a new completion and a new set happening. And so what I wanted to do was note what the second is, what that departure from home we talked about, an interval function, and also that the 3, which is this note, can be played on the flute. It's usually the last note that a flute has availability to, but it's usually like a pretty harsh note and you have to overblow it. But it is available, and it is one of the pentatonic intervals if we were going up to that next octave. Okay, so that's something to consider. It's all something to consider. Okay, so I'm going to stop that share for a moment. When you see the blue boxes, again, it's not part of the initial octave that we're talking about. So when you see them position starting, I'm going to zoom down here so you can just see what I'm talking about. This here is position 3, where we're starting way up here on the 3rd one. And when we get to that full illustration of the intervals, you see this thing, okay, this blue box that belongs to the octave below where we start. So that is not the starting point, but some of those intervals can be really wonderful. So they're definitely worth checking out. And we're going to come on back up to 1 here. Okay, good. Now, the way we can use the diamond this way, and we're going to get into the diamond next, in played against a backing track, is remember that you can always play the 1. You can always play that root note. All right, and then when you're feeling like, okay, and now I'm going to extend and I'm going to play the 1 and the 5, okay, immediately you can be playing with other either backing tracks or musicians just with the 1-5, and then we build on from there. So we're going to listen to a fast backing track, but you don't necessarily have to play fast. So what I wanted to do was show you, it's going to be a little bit of a listening exercise, and I'll put up the position 1 so you can see if you can track it. You're going to have an opportunity to do this. also, but this is right now is just for listening. If you were to play along with this track is, we're going to play it when we play it on our flutes in a little bit. We're going to play it in position 1. This track is actually, I did it in position 2. So if you're trying to match it, it would be in position 2. But right now, just listen to it so you can hear the 1, the 1-5, and so forth, and then we're going to break it down. This is Ami Sarasvati. This is the Aeolian Mode using the diamond method. Play the 1. So on your F sharp flute, that would be this note. Add the 5. Add the 3. Add the 8. And I'll stop the track for a moment. So you can hear this example. What I'm doing is I've added these intervals. I've got 1, 3, 5, 8 I'm playing. If you wanted to follow along in this particular track, you would just play on an A minor flute. We're playing in A minor, but we're playing on F sharp. So, and that's what we're going to unravel. But you hear me kind of messing around. I'm going 1, 3, 5, 8, 5. And so you've got these intervals to really work with as sort of a playing field. And I'm just adding them one at a time. So although they're sequential right here in this page, you can start to really have some fun with them improvising. Okay, I'm going to put this back on and we'll continue. Add the other pentatonic intervals. This is where it gets fun. Final intervals of the full mode. And I'm going to stop here for a second so you can see this. Okay, so visually now you've got that listening exercise going, and now we're here. So we've just played the I've just played the pentatonic in position 2, and then this will be the full one. And here we go. Add any available extended notes. Return to just the full mode. Return to just the pentatonic intervals. return to just the 1, 3, 5, 8. Return to just the 1, 3, 5. Return to just the 1, 5. Return to just the 1. All right. Great. Now we're going to do it together. We're going to do it in position 1. Don't worry. Okay. I'm going to put up the diagram and I'm going to call the intervals. I'm going to be playing the backing track. Okay. And you can just add the intervals and add the intervals as we go. So this is an F sharp minor backing track. That home note. Add your 5. Yeah, go back and forth with those. Always play just those 1 5s. Add your 3 now. Primary chord. When you're ready, add your octave 8. See what you can do with those. Now when you're ready, add the last 2 of the pentatonics, which is the 4 and the 7. You're playing straight up your flute now. Jam on your flute. If you'd like to add the half whole, go ahead. This is one of the 2 remaining intervals and the 6 minor. And if you're feeling adventurous, add the 2 above and maybe even the 3. Try it. Now we'll take out the extended and stick to just the intervals of the mode. When you're ready, return to just the pentatonic. When you're ready, go to the arpeggio 1, 3, 5, 8. the 8, just 1, 3, 5. Just the 1, 5. Keep that harmony, you can always return to this. And now just your home note. Stop the track for a second. All right, so as a reinforcement and a reminder, my recommended goal on all the modes is that you really get familiar with the pentatonic, and we're going to talk about it just in terms of these intervals. I'm not going to go into this high 3 right now. So straight up and down the flute, and you can see, okay, this is the strength of the flute. This is what it was built on. All right, so I'm going to play the backing track just a little bit longer so you can really just have a little fun with it. All right, so just go with the pentatonic and see what happens. About 15 more seconds. Play your heart out. Great. Now go ahead and take this down and stop the track. Okay, and we are back here. And this is what you just did. This is what we did together. And that's the same method that we're going to use for all of these. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I hope that was fun. And you can kind of see and why we start with Aeolian. Okay, we know this one. Okay, and this mode can be played in 2 other positions. We're going to do the same process. We're going to show the diamond. We're going to go through it in position 2. I'm not going to go through it as extensively, but I'll go through it at least so you can walk through it. And then I'll put on a backing track for position 2, and you can try out at least the 1-5, get your bearings, maybe a couple other intervals, and then we'll do the same thing in 3, and that will be it. Okay, so next thing I want to show you is, let's take a look at it, and then we will dive in. So you did it. Okay, that was Aeolian in position 1, and this is that method. Aeolian position 2, we're going to start on that second hole up. Okay, and we're going to move up this way, and I have an animation for you to play along with. So you just keep your F sharp flute in hand, and this will lead you through it. position 2, okay? And now I'm going to take that backing track. You heard me play that before, and I said this is going to be position 2. Now you're going to play it in position 2. Try a few. This is repetitive efforts and trying it. So really just stay in that space of just trying things. Okay, at least I know where my 1-5 is, maybe 1-3-5, okay? And just get your feet wet. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight the diamond method, and I'm gonna play the track, but the track now is going to be not an F sharp, the bottom hole, we're gonna go up, and it's gonna be an A minor, which your F sharp flute can play. And again, just give me a moment. Okay, here it is. Position 2. When you're ready, play your 1. Stability and completeness. Home note, root, tonal center, tonic. Add your 5. Sound of harmony. 1-5. When you're ready, add your 3. We're at the primary chord. There's the 8. If you choose to play it, that's the 8. You can play it, try it out, give it a lot of wind. Some flutes are better sounding on that 8 than others, so you choose what you want to play with. Now we're going to add the last 2 of the pentatonic intervals in position 2. So this would be like playing straight up the flute, but now we've moved up. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Here's the full mode, and there are no extended notes. You can just play right through that if you like. Notice what you like. Let's take out 2 intervals, the 2 and the 6, and we're going to return to the pentatonic. This one here. Return to the arpeggio 1, 3, 5, 8. Returning to the primary chord, the 1, 3, 5. One, 5. To the 1. Good. All right, I'm going to turn that down. And stop that. Okay. And I'll stop the share. Okay, did we make it through? All right, so it can be done. That's really what I want you to know. It can be done. And in that direction, we're going to do one more. We're not going to do the backing track this time, but I'm just going to lead you through position 3, Aeolian. And why there might be an advantage to playing that position in Aeolian. In this position, we started from here, we're starting from here, and we're moving up, and whether or not we want to play that, notice that there is no 8 available, okay? So that's what that is all about. But if we start from this position, we do have these other 2 intervals in the octave below, and especially that 5 is absolutely beautiful. So as you're playing through this, every once in a while hit that 5, okay, and you'll say, oh, that's why it'd be nice to play in that one. So So in the book, we've got the Aeolian in position 3, and this is the diamond method, and you can go through that. And this is a song, a Native American folk song. You may know it. The river is flowing. It's gorgeous. And when we look at a song, we want to look at the last note in the song to know where our root note, where does it resolve? Where does it come back to home? We know the song is over when we come to that one. That is the one in this case. Okay, and you see there's a lot of this. There's this bottom stuff here, and none of these notes would be available if we started from that bottom note. So this is a lovely song, and it really lends itself to talking about this position 3 advantage. The disadvantage is we don't have the high notes. We can't get the octave, but if, like in The River is Flowing, if it doesn't even have any of those high notes, which many songs don't, this would be a great choice to play this. And this is the case with all the modes, is that position 2 and 3 will have certain advantages and disadvantages, and hopefully you'll start to get a sense of those as we move through them. Whew. Great job. We did it. All 3 positions Aeolian. Congratulations. Okay, and that concludes our first mode that we're covering in this course. So thank you for being here, and we will see you in the next video.